So my doctor's office just called today, and I thought, based on what they said, there's a possibility we'd have to stop traveling. So let me back up and explain real quick what's going on. If you don't know, we travel full-time, and I just got diagnosed recently with Parkinson's disease. So I'm seeing a special kind of neurologist called a movement disorder specialist. I just started seeing her. In fact, just shortly ago, I saw her for the first time, and she made a deal with me. She said, you can travel, you can do whatever you want to, as long as you come in my office and see me once a year, and all of the other visits can be telehealth. You know, pick up your phone, look at the camera, hey doc, how you doing, that kind of stuff. So anyhow, back to the phone call. Who do you think called? Doctor's office called. It was a scheduler. Said, I'm sorry, but there was a change in policy and we don't do telehealth anymore. You're going to have to do in-person visits. And my immediate thought was, uh-oh. I've just got Parkinson's. I mean, no matter how long I've had it, I just got diagnosed with it. I have no idea how many visits are going to happen. I have no idea how often you have to go to the darn doctor. All this is going through my head is we're going to be 2.5 to 3 hours away from my next visit, which will be in about 8 weeks. And the reason is we're dialing in my medicine, you know, getting it all figured out. So the short of my concern was, again, can we still travel? Like more than just a few hours away. So I fired up a message on the portal, and I actually got another phone call, this time from her, I think it was like a physician assistant or a medical assistant. One of the people who has intimate knowledge of her cases and patients, that kind of thing. So anyhow, a very nice young lady called me and said, the doctor says, we understand some people are in this kind of situation. Maybe not everybody travels, but not everybody can go into the office physically. She said, we will renew your prescriptions throughout the year, whenever your refills expire, as long as you make it in once a year, physically once a year. I said, that's great. That's a load off my mind. I am going to be there in town when they want to see me, for example. In 8 weeks, I will be there in person, 2.5 to 3 hour drive, depending on if you pay for tolls. But after that, she's okay with holding up her end of the bargain, even though they don't do telehealth. So, you know, as soon as you get bad news, it all just swirls in your head and you're going 100 miles an hour and the doomsday is coming. But as long as we can dial in my meds, we can still travel as long as I get back once a year. And that's a commitment I can deal with.
And I was concerned because the first thing Matthew did was contact our insurance company, because I was under the impression they were saying that our insurance wasn't going to pay for it. But he contacted them. They said, no, we do telehealth. So I think it's just the office is not wanting to deal with telehealth anymore because maybe of some other insurance companies.
Yeah, I think I left that out. They said because insurance companies aren't paying for it anymore. So there must be other insurance companies that just boogered up the whole system. Ours is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida. And they said, no, we're paying for it.
I would think it would, maybe it cost the same.
One rotten apple spoils the bunch, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, you would think you could do more telehealth. I don't know. All I know is, and so we thought Matthew was going to have to find a new doctor because we're like, look, we know other people that have Parkinson's, or we've heard from them and they travel and stuff like that. Maybe not full time to the extent that we do, but
we're also new to this.
Right.
So how many times? New. Half a dozen, 20? I don't know. How often do you need to see the doctor when you first get it?
Right, because he's still not dialed in like he was saying on what his regimen's supposed to be. And that's where, once that gets dialed in, that's where seeing the doctor once a year, then she tweaks it from there. But we're not even to that point yet. So obviously right now, we're staying in the Florida region at least until he can get everything dialed in.
But then she's willing to play ball.
Yeah.
Very nice doctor. I mean, I have even more respect for her. She's holding up her end of the bargain. She knows traveling is important as long as I'm able to travel, as long as we're able to travel. So thank God I got a good doctor, because when you look at your refills, you're like, well, the refills expire before I see her again in September of next year. So she said, her assistant said, that's just fine. We deal with this all the time. We're perfectly willing to do whatever you need to be done. So that's cool.
All this to say is we're human and we let the fear take over, you know, and then we start to dissect it and be like, I'm always trying to find a solution. I'm like, there has to be a solution.
Well, and I was talking to God and I was praying about it, and I was like, You know, if God absolutely needs for us to stay still, we're going to stay still. But I even said to Sean, I said, God's going to have to give me more than just a scheduling person to make me stand still in one place. So
right.
I'm like, yeah, that wasn't the final say so. I'm sorry. So praise God, hallelujah, we still get to travel.
And we just wanted to share that because we don't know how many of y'all out there are going through the same thing or might go through this kind of thing in the future. So we just want to relay our experience and how we deal with it and stuff. So.
Yep.
All right, y'all, we were out on our morning walk, and I was just noticing this palm tree looks kind of split at the top, but that's not what caught my attention. Let me zoom in. It looks like clusters of grapes, or honestly, they look like big green olives.
They do, but I wonder, are those dates? Because I know dates grow on either palm trees or things that look like palm trees, but darn it, those don't look like dates either to me.
Yeah, they don't look like dates.
So what are they? They're obviously not completely ripe yet.
But I think olives come from a vine, but...
Yeah, so what in the world are we seeing on a palm tree?
You could school us, but yeah, so give y'all perspective.
Some of you obviously know, and you're dying to tell us, so...
There's the palm tree.
Put it in the comments.
Alright, y'all, I hope y'all can see. It's raining and we're getting water intrusion through this window. It like rains and splashes right there. So I'm wondering if it's leaking from up here. But you see how wet this is. Let me get a flashlight. Alright, I have a flashlight. I don't know if it's going to show up any better, but I think it's coming from the top and hits the windowsill, and then it just splashes. Like you see, it's wet right there.
All right, so we were talking about the window, or Sean was talking about the window. We just get a few drips that come in from, I don't know, the track or whatever up above. Like if this is a track, we get a couple of drips here and there. So I went outside, and you can run your fingernail over the caulking, the silicone caulking or whatever they used, and it's continuous. I mean, there's no... birds haven't picked at it. There's no open spaces in it. I can see where the window has been sealed up. They have, you know, the various parts of it look like they're totally intact. They have what at least I've always referred to as the weeping holes. They have a few of them. And I don't know if they're clogged up, if that has anything to do with it. So if you have any idea, it's not a floodgate. It's just a few drips of water. And honestly, I'm not, what was his name? From this old house.
Bob Vila.
Bob Vila, that's it. Good old Bob. I wonder what he's up to these days. I'm not Bob Vila, but I am smart enough to be able to look and see what's obvious, and nothing is obvious to me. No cracks, no obvious leaks, and so I really genuinely, it's not just a ploy to get you to say something on our video. Put in the comments below. It's not life or death, but it is rather interesting. So I genuinely like your opinion.
So when you said you ran your finger across, is there a way it could be like just a pinhole and maybe you can't feel like a pin?
I mean, that's possible, but again, I think it's silicone sealant. It's clear. It looks like it's some kind of silicone base to me, and silicone does not stick to silicone. That's just a fact. Most of the time, unless you have some weird product that's space age, I don't know. But silicone generally does not stick to silicone, and there's not a whole lot of sealant there for you to peel up. So removing the old silicone so you could put in the new silicone seems like a heck of a job in that particular spot, because there's not much in there. It's down in the groove, you know what I mean? So how are you going to use a knife or something and gouge everything up? So I'd rather not do that. It feels fine. So I don't know.
And you mentioned the weeping holes, so is there a way to see if they're clogged?
I don't know. I don't know that either. I'm looking forward to people saying something.
That's why y'all need a comment, because we can't figure it out.
We don't know.
All right, y'all ready for this? We have a complete rainbow over our RV here at Canopy Oaks. Isn't that amazing? The park is empty because it's summer. No one wants to be here, but look. There's our RV. There is the rainbow. And there's a faint one. Another one, so it's like a double one, but you can barely see it. Going all the way down. There is Matthew up on the roof, washing the RV. Alright, now Matthew's gonna be washing the back. He really needs to get our chicken cluck clean. But anyways, it got really grimy at the RV roof place, and we haven't had time to wash it till now because now it's starting to be just a little bit cooler in the morning. Alright, power wash to the rescue. Come on, get our chicken clean. Foamy, foamy. Wow, cluck looks like a, what, a feathered?
Battered chicken.
Did you say a feathered?
Battered chicken.
Like he's fixing to be deep fried. He is. He's gonna be deep fried in the Florida sun later. Come on, I hope Don Power Wash got him clean.
Oh, crying out loud. Come on. You don't belong over there.
Chuck's like, I don't want to be clean.
His name is Cluck.
Oh yeah, Cluck. Sorry y'all. It's Cluck.
He does look a little cleaner, I will admit.
Yay.
Power wash helps somewhat.
Wow. Why is his red shirt coming off? He's becoming a naked chicken, y'all. Don't look.
This is a family show. We don't do naked chickens.
Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, poor Chuck.
You named him. His name is Cluck,
All right.
not Chuck.
It's Cluck.
My goodness.
If y'all hang around me long enough, I get things wrong all the time.
Oh, just have her sing your favorite song. She'll rewrite the words like nobody's business.
All right, y'all. I came back outside, and you can see, I hope, the way the sun is. Look at the contrast. It's like,
I had to wash this part 2 or 3 times just to get it to how clean it is now. That's how much grime is on here.
yeah, I'm thinking that's just not normal dirt. I think that came from the shop.
It's a lot.
And then the other thing is, how long do y'all keep your stickers? So if that does eventually come off, like how do we get rid of all that nastiness?
That's easy. Odorless mineral spirits to the rescue. And then you want to wash it off when you're done with just water or maybe soap and water. But odorless mineral spirits will clean that right up.
So you doing that this time or you don't know?
Not right now.
They are back.
The love bugs are back.
It's the love season.
I don't love the love bugs either, so what a horrible name, but yeah, they're back. They're totally harmless unless you let 1,000,000 of them stick to the front of your vehicle. Then they might do something to the paint. Otherwise, they're just annoying, that's all.
So apparently, the Florida heat finally got us. It did fry something. It fried our surge protector.
Yeah, and that's about it. Like we said, that's about it. We won't run through all those details again, but that's about as good of an explanation as I have. Because both the plug that plugs into the pedestal and the plug that plugs into the power cord were both fine. It was just a dead center of the unit. So I don't know, but the new one's working fine on 30 amp, and you might be saying, why? So if you missed it, it's working on 30 amp because they're apparently having power problems in this park, which we have seen before. It's not unprecedented. We've seen it before. So in our next park, we'll be able to plug it into 50 and everything should be fine.
Yeah, speaking of this park, to some of y'all might not think it's a lot, but to us it's a lot. Especially when the weekenders come in, a lot of people bring their own golf carts, but they also rent the golf carts. So we were up at the office one day and I just saw a flyer and I was like, it's $80. $80 a day.
For a day.
I thought maybe that was the weekend price. And she's like, well, you can call off campus or whatever, and you might could get a lower rate. I'm like, no, I'm not looking to rent one. I'm like, that's like more than the rate the nightly rate to just stay on the pad, but people do it, y'all.
They do it, and some people rent them by the week, because we've seen the off-site people come in, and that's crazy. Do y'all rent golf carts? And honestly, we have no concept of what's good. Maybe that's a killer rate. I don't know. Put in the comments below, what would you be willing to pay for a golf cart rental? Either for the day, the week, the month. We want to know, is that a good rate or is that an outrageously expensive rate? It seems like a lot to us.
People love their golf carts, but this place is pretty big. But I understand,
really is big,
if you have mobility issues and stuff, it's a lot to get
Not
around.
all these people have mobility issues.
Some people do it just to ride the dog around. I mean, you should see these dogs. They're just so happy. They're just laying, or they're just sitting in the seat like they're a human.
Dogs ain't got to walk anymore, folks. They get to ride in style.
Another thing that we saw for the first time in this park specifically, and I don't know if it's a new trend going on with camping or if it's just a summer thing or whatever, people are starting to bring adults these inflatable pools.
Oh yeah.
Like they're rectangular, and
like the kiddie pools.
They set them on their patio and then they fill them up and they just sit out there. I mean, I haven't seen that before. So is that some, like in addition to bringing your grill and your wood for a campfire and your camp chairs and stuff, is that a new addition, or are y'all participating in that? Are y'all bringing your little floaty pool?
That's kind of neat though, like a private pool party. I mean, you don't have to worry about it being crowded. You can go into it anytime you want to. It's just not very deep.
I don't know if this was just a coincidence, but when we were here over a major holiday, our T-Mobile just bit the dust, and we had to try to survive on AT&T, and we didn't know if we were just in such a rural area and it was just crowded that weekend and that made it go down, or was one of the towers down. I don't think we figured it out really.
Well, yeah, I called and they said that one of the towers was down, but then it started clearing up when everybody left. So is it a coincidence, or is that just a guy on the phone's explanation? I don't know, but it did get better. It made us a little bit nervous, because the only reason is, you might say, well, hey, you people have Starlink. We do. But Starlink right now is on pause, or whatever they call it these days. If you take it off pause, it's like $160 a month, which we're not excited about. So,
and our T-Mobile is half of that. So.
Yeah, so we made it. It came back. But honestly, when you look at the map, which we're going to do from now on, I won't get into the nuts and bolts of it, only just to say T-Mobile has a map of, just like they all do, and it says we're in one of the weaker 5G areas. So, and we knew that going in, but we didn't know exactly what it meant. I guess that's what it means. The place we're going to next, wait to see, has stronger 5G. So I don't think we're going to have to deal with that again for a while.
And the place we came from was literally right there at Tampa Bay, and that whole
That was
big
another
area.
strong 5G. I'm not using their words, but this is supposedly like extended range. So I guess now we know what to expect. It comes and it goes.
Yeah,
that's what it means.
We never had issues at the other places that we were
Never.
at. And all of that to say, just putting it out there for you, if you happen to come to this park when the park might be completely full during snowbird season, you might need the Starlink. Like I said, I don't know if the tower was down or if it was because the park was really busy. So
don't know.
Before we leave talking about the park, unfortunately, our entertainment, or I could say fortunately, our entertainment, we didn't get the birds here. I think we saw the cranes once or twice. We even saw a turtle walking slowly by, but our entertainment was the lawn crew. And they didn't come like every week, but they have like a massive team. They have these stand-up mowers, they have the blowers, they have the weed eaters, I don't know what else, but they
have a system, and it's pretty impressive the way they knock it out, going up one row and down the other, and they got the weed eater first, and then they got the stand-up mower, and then they got the blower, and then you're all done.
Because this is a pretty massive park. I think I said it was over 400 acres, and I think they're only allotted so much that they cut, and then the people that own the park come out with their little, is it a bush hog?
They have like a bush hog behind the tractor that they do like the dog run, and they, the big open fields. These people just do around the spaces, and they have, how many spaces? Over 400 of them too?
400. Yeah. Because you know how it is. Sometimes when you're in an RV park, Strawberry Fields is the same size as this park, but Strawberry Fields cuts their own grass, whereas this place hires a whole team that comes out.
And they do it in like a day and a half.
So each park is different when it comes to that. I will say this about the lawn crew, though. If you have those lights like I do, the solar lights that go on the ground.
Deck lights.
Anytime, and I know it's a pain, but anytime the lawn crew comes, pick those up and just put them on your picnic table, because the blower will blow them. And sometimes they don't pick them back up and they'll just go flying. So I just every week or whatever week they come, I'll pick them up and then I'll go put them back down. So just.
And it hasn't been a big deal as long as we know they're coming, and you know they're coming. You can hear them. So it's easy to deal with.
So we got to go back to the, I think it's called Zoo Tampa. They put zoo first. And Matthew got some footage of this, and I got some footage of it. We got to see a 2-week-old baby manatee that it was orphaned. I think the mom abandoned it, or they couldn't find the mom. Maybe something happened to the mom.
And it can't live on its own.
And so they had it up out of the water because they were working on something with its tail, because I think some of its tail had started to become necrotic. So the vet was working on it, and then they lowered it back down into the pool. It's so tiny, y'all. It only weighs 48 pounds.
Yeah, they said they're going to keep it until it's 2 years old or 600 pounds, about that. But they said the necrotic tissue on the tail was something they just happened to find. They really try to take care of it because it's orphan, like Sean said. So as long as it can maintain good health, then, which they had a whole team of people that are working on the poor little thing, then hopefully in a couple of years it'll be big and strong and they can release it where they found it.
So we've been very thankful that we've been able to stay in this RV park where when you pay the monthly rate, which by the way is like more than half off, Matthew says probably 60 or more
60% off, yep.
That the electric's included. So we've been running our 2 ACs when it's been like in the 90s every day with heat index over 100. So we've been very thankful and grateful for that. That's been awesome.
That is a huge blessing because being able to use 2 ACs, it's like you even get a little chilly once in a while. So that's a great problem to have.
Oh, one more thing. We did get to see some animals here. Bunny rabbits.
This place does have bunny rabbits, and I'm honestly surprised I haven't seen any foxes or anything like that with all the rabbits around, but they have little cottontail bunny rabbits.
It was pretty cool. So I have a fun question for y'all that we posted on Facebook, so I thought I would throw it out to y'all and see what we get in the comments. Please participate. So if you're in an RV park and you had to park by a TV family, you know, like those TV shows, even it can be like any year or whatever, what TV family would you like to be parked next to and why?
And it can be a real TV family or it can be animated, whatever you think of as a TV family. Give us your fun answers because that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes to my mind is the Addams family. They would just be, I would like constantly be looking out my window, like, look at that. Look at Cousin It is Addams family, right? Look at Cousin It, right?
Well, and a lot of people said I Love Lucy because they had a movie where they were RVing. So we gave you a couple examples. Come up with your own. Use your own examples, and we can't wait to see what you come up with.
Maybe something fun we could do, if y'all have any questions that y'all would like us to answer on camera, then email us at brokendreamsreborn@gmail.com. Put in the subject line question for a YouTube video, and maybe we can start adding some questions into our videos.
That's a great idea.
From our users, and we'll say who it's from. If you want it to be anonymous, we'll say this is anonymous, but if you want your name, then put what your name is, and we'll say that. That'll be kind of fun.
Yeah, a question about us, a question about traveling, about whatever's under the sun. So that's a great idea.
Also, if you're not following us on Facebook, we do different things on Facebook, then come over there and join us there. But on YouTube, please subscribe, like, share our video, comment. It really helps a lot, and it's free.
It is absolutely free, and it's so easy. Once you're subscribed, you should stay subscribed, but we all know that's not the way life works. So maybe you can double check, because a lot of people have told us they had to resubscribe. So just hit the button.
And we'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.
Bye.